Hey, how's it going, YouTube? So today I thought I'd share with you as I'm working on my 2020 Polaris Ranger 1000, just the EPS model, so it's just a base model though. What I'm doing is I'm wiring in my light bar and the winch, so I want to put the switches in here. And I had some extra switches laying around from other projects, and I noticed how long this opening is. It's not the typical switch size. So I started doing a little bit of digging on it, and turns out that these are Carlin Technologies. That's who the manufacturer of that is. And it's the L series is what they're called. So after digging around, and obviously I could cut out that knockout to fit, like this style of the rocker switches. But I found on a website called OTR Switch Guys. They're pretty expensive. The winch one was like $19. The bumper for the LED light, that one was $18, I think, plus shipping, which wasn't bad. But that's their guys right there. Now I'm not getting any kickbacks from them guys, so this is purely just for information. As after doing the research, other people had cut out that opening, thinking that they'd throw a regular switch in there, and it doesn't fit properly now. So they give you these schematics with it, showing you exactly how to wire everything up, so that's real nice actually. I'm going to be doing something similar to this. Kind of just jumping to get the power to all the lights and the switches and everything. And so on their website, they actually allow you to change any of the lettering on these switches, and there's a bunch of different kinds. Just like where it says bumper there, you can add, I think it's up to 2 lines of text, whatever you want it to say, I guess. And then you can also change out the color of the LEDs inside. The factory ones on my machine, and I'm sure all of them, are amber, so that's what I went with. So it should look completely factory when I'm done with it. So under the hood here, I got my relay for the light bar all wired up. I'm not sure what I want to do in here. I mean, it's pretty clean the way I did it, but I always like having stuff wrapped, but it's just, you only can do so much. So I ended up running all this off the Polaris pulse bar. This is just for like trigger and relays. You don't really want to run anything off of it. I mean, obviously your positive terminal and your negative terminal here you can use pretty freely, as that's a pretty thick wire coming in here. And I know that factory, they do use this to power their winch as well, so that's why I was comfortable doing it with mine. The way I did this is I actually bought these MetroPack 280s. These are the connectors used for the pulse bar there, and I have the WeatherPack crimping kit already, so I was actually able to use my crimper that I currently have already and use that to make them. You could do it with pliers, and there's other videos out there on that, but that makes it pretty clean, because then you don't need to have any butt connectors in here. You can go straight to the pulse bar itself, versus buying them like on Amazon. I've seen them where they have the pigtails hanging off of them. So this is just a on wire for the winch. It's just to trigger the relay in here. And then this is going in to power my switches and give me power for relays. And I wired them, like I said, for the ignition sourced power. So you'll see how that works. Just as you turn on the key, that's when everything gets power. So you don't have to worry about running down your battery just because you're always leaving lights on your dash. But without further ado, we'll get to wiring things up. Alright, so to remove this top piece here, you actually just pop off these plastic rivets here. If you don't have one of these tools, it is the ultimate removal for push pins or any of these plastic connectors like this. It's phenomenal. I'll leave a link in the description there. And this just pops out just like that. Then you can see all your wiring and where it comes through in the back there. And then to pop out this switch panel, there's just 2 of them down here as well. and that just slips out. Now you have access behind here. Alright you guys, so now as far as cutting these out, you can just use a regular utility knife if you'd like, and just, you can either score it or push it all the way in and rock it. Alright, grab a file and just clean up those edges. Alright, well that's about all I can do up here at the bench. Everything else is going to be in the machine, unfortunately. So on the bench, I was thinking that this winch would be the last in the switch position. You know, the third switch over instead of the second, because I wanted it to be the first one to get power. So that's why I'm having to redo what I did on the bench, because I anticipated it being the following one. I think that should be everything, so I'll pop our switches in. Oh, does that look nice? There we go. Alright, so we have our ground for the winch. And we have our ground for the light bar, which I believe is on the same spot, yep. So the reason why I left this tail on here is for the next switch. Should I decide to do anything, all I'd have to do is just cut off the shrink tube I put on here so that nothing gets corroded, and then I'll be able to hook it up and continue going on in series. And then we'll do power here. So we have positive upper here. A positive at the bottom. We have our power source for the switch for the light bar, which will be hot off of the keyed ignition. And then we also have our dash light circuit. Oop, probably should move this one up. Move this one up here. And this guy right here. And again, here's just for the next switch should I decide to do any additional ones. So this is my tracer wire, or my switch wire for the relay. That'll go down here. And then we just have the winch connections. Now hopefully this will all be right. I'm not sure exactly. It doesn't specify, it just shows them as outgoing. So 2 will be my red. So I'll put that on. And then, I mean, hopefully in up on top. So hopefully that's this top lead. I mean, this is just a guess, to be honest. The worst case scenario, it just goes in reverse. So I just switch around the wires. So in on this is black. So we'll put the black on the number 1 terminal here. And we'll put the green on the number 4 terminal. And that's it. Looks quite nice, actually. Let's give her a test. So yeah, the lights are the amber, so they all match real nice. There's the light bar. And then we'll check and see if I'm backwards on these switches. Here, we'll press the out button. Yep, that let out. Bring it back in. Perfect. Excellent. So that's it. It's pretty simple, actually. Should work just fine. Tuck this back up in there and put our pins back in. I'm going to throw a zip tie in there. Actually, really doesn't even need it. There's plenty of space. I'm actually not going to do anything with that. That's perfect. We'll just throw our cover back on. There it goes. And throw our push pins in there. And that's a wrap. Bring you in here to show you how it looks factory. Very happy with this. Like I said, these things are a little bit pricier. I think that one was 18 something, $19, but it sure does look nice, and my OCD's happy. And off with the key it goes. It's a good deal. Happy with the way this is turning out. I hope this helped you. If it did, please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. And comment if you have any questions about anything I did. Thanks for watching.